So now the kitty cat wants to get in on the action. Okay, so we're gonna lay down on our foam rollers so it's from tailbone to head. You got it. And yeah, this is where we kind of take an inventory of how our body is feeling and release any of that tension. And give yourself just a few minutes to kind of decompress the spine. So once you're on, let those arms come out to the side. So your shoulders are sort of wrapping into the foam roller and you're feeling heaviness from the shoulder all the way down to the hand. And then with that heaviness, let's float those arms up towards the ceiling on your inhale. And then exhale, let the arms open up again. And we're going to inhale and lift. And exhale, reach. And let's do a couple more like that. Just getting some nice mobility in through that upper body. Good. And on this next one, let's leave those hands straight up in front of you and just gently pick up the shoulder blades and then press them down into the foam roller. So we're getting that lift through the shoulder and the depression of the shoulder blades. Just gentle, very effortless, no tension. Now hold that depressed position where your shoulder blades are touching, and we're going to go into arm scissors. So scissoring the arms in opposite direction. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch. Inhale, center. And exhale, switch. And let's do two more, reaching those arms away from each other. And let's leave this one here. So we're going to just hold that stretch for a nice long inhale and exhale. And then take it back to center and then switch and we'll hold the other side. You know, your hand doesn't have to touch, just reach it back as far as you can behind you. Inhale. And just really let it all go on your exhale. And then float those arms all the way back up. Let's cross the arms in front of the chest. Reach around, grab your shoulder blades, lift your chin to your chest. Give that upper middle back a little release and then come all the way down. Unravel those arms. And then let's switch the cross so the other one is in front. And do that same thing again. Roll your head, neck, and shoulders up off of your mat. And then roll it back down nice and easy. Let's take those arms out to the side one more time. So maybe you can hover the fingertips and backs of the hands off of the mat for just a second. You're getting an extra little bit of stretch. And then let's bend the elbows. So it's like we're going to touch our sides of our head and then bring those arms back out to the side. And if you've been doing push-ups this week, you're going to feel that a little stretch happening right through the shoulders. And let's go for 4 and 3, 2, and 1 more. Now hold that position with your elbows bent and your fingertips reaching towards your temples or the sides of your head. Take a breath in, and now exhale, pick up the elbows so they're in front of you. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders like you're doing an ab curl, and then roll it back down and take those arms wide again. So I'm going to pick up those elbows so they're in my peripheral vision. Exhale as I come up, head, neck, and shoulders lifting, and roll it back down. Let's try 2 more just like that. See if you can pick it up a little bit higher. Tuck that chin down to your chest and lower it down. Let those shoulders release on the exhale and do 1 more. And here we go. Exhale, lift a little higher. Inhale, come back down, and exhale, release. Let the arms come all the way down by your side. And then we're going to slowly roll ourselves up, push into your palms, lift your chest, and come off the foam roller. And there's Catherine. So we're going to take the foam roller to the side position now. So let's come on to a sideline position where our leg is right on top of the foam roller, so that your shin all the way down to your foot is supported. And let's roll that bottom arm. Hi, Catherine. Underneath you. And let's take the hip and reach it away and then pull it back in. Now we might be feeling those inner thighs a little bit more today. Maybe the hips. Go easy. Nice and slow and steady. Taking that hip forward and back a few more times. And then we're gonna hold it out there. Rotate into your mat so you can let that leg come a little bit more out to the side. Still keep the knee bent and see if you can take it a little deeper. And we're gonna be holding this stretch. So let's go to that furthest point in your stretch, opening up that hip. If you need support from your opposite leg, you can curl your toes under just to hold, or just leave that leg nice and flat. Hold and open up that leg for 3 and 2. And on 1, we're gonna slowly bring it all the way back down, turn back onto your side. Let's hold the foam roller and stack the knees. So we've got it a little bit more in front of our body now. Let's take it away from the center and pull it in. Taking it out. And let's go for 3. Let that shoulder release, 2, and then come back. And last one. Good, and then bring it back to center. You can keep holding the foam roller or just let it go, whatever you'd like to do. Let's place my hand in front. I'm gonna take that top knee and just do a little side kick and then point the toes and reach it back. Reach the leg forward. And you can also do this with a bent knee. So remember, that's an option by bending your knee. Give yourself a little hip flexion and then hip extension as you open it up. So whatever direction the leg is going, we want to keep that hip from going too far back. And last one, reach and hold it there. Bring that leg behind you so you're getting an opening through the hip flexor here. So we're going to try to keep the hips stacked, but reach the top leg behind you. Take a breath in there. And then exhale, walk that leg back in line with your other leg. Hold the knee into your chest as we stretch. Slide the hand down the shin. Pull the heel back towards your bum. Roll the shoulder back and flex your foot. So you're gonna feel that through your quad. Let's take a breath in there. And then slowly release those legs. Let's take that foam roller underneath the arm. And again, if this is too intense, you can use your little mini ball in here too to break up some of that tension in the rib cage and the underarm. So Gloria, just be careful with this. If you're feeling those muscles under your arm, then you're gonna know that this is tight. Okay, we're hands behind the head, and we're just gonna rotate that top elbow down, and then exhale as you reach it up towards the ceiling. And just remember, when you lift your elbow, it's gonna be more intense. So keeping your elbow down might be an option this morning. And let's try 3 more. Just rotating that upper middle back, and 2. And last one, open that chest, hold it there for a breath. Inhale, and now return to center on your exhale. Let's stretch those arms all the way out. Bottom arm's gonna stay, the top arm's gonna lift past your hips and then float it overhead. So I really wanna reach and open up the side body here. Reach over that hip, and let's try 2 more. Come back to center each time and lift. And one more just like that. And then when we come all the way back, let's take the bottom hand and grab the top so you're getting that nice length. And just lift up a little bit, reach out and away, blinded by the sun, but it feels so nice. And then lift yourself all the way up. And then come up to a mermaid tail position. So I'm gonna take that foam roller and roll it away, but don't go out with the hand yet. Let's just see how far we can take that arm out to stretch and then pull it back in. And reach that arm. I'm holding on to my opposite shin so I don't go too far. And then today, instead of bringing the hand overhead, let's focus on the chest a little more. So let's take the arm out to the side, and we're gonna come from the side, reach to the foam roller, and then open up that chest again. So we exhale. Reach, and then inhale, pulling yourself back up. Let's try 2 more. Reach, see if you can go a little further. Roll it up, open the chest. And last time, we're gonna stay on the foam roller with the hands this time. And now play with the positioning of your hands. Reach it further away if you can. Maybe you can drop your elbows to the ground. Maybe you can rest your head on your foam roller. And just staying there in this sort of pretzel-like position. Pushing your palms into the foam roller, press your chest, open it up, and roll that foam roller in towards you as you give yourself a nice little extension stretch. And on your next breath, we're gonna bring that outside hand back, and then take your back leg around, pull it in towards you, and then sit up nice and tall. You get that nice rotation, look over that back shoulder. And then slowly return to center, release the legs, and let's switch sides. Starting with that leg on top. We're gonna adjust my lighting a little bit here so I'm not blinded by the sun. And then just roll that leg away from you. Again, really see where you can go with that. You can take it a little bit further each time. This is a really great way to recover your muscles after a hard week of working out. And then take it all the way, turn onto your front body. So you're propped up with your elbows, and then take it out even further, going up into that inner thigh, and then bring it back. You notice one side feels a little bit tighter than the other? Yeah. That's usually your dominant side, you'll feel. Okay, and then can you hold that last one? Wherever you can take that leg, let the hip adduct, reach it away. Hold it for a full breath. Notice if you're holding tension anywhere, just try to let that tension release. And then slowly come back. It's just a natural thing that we do when we're a little uncomfortable. We tend to hold tension in other parts of our body. So this is something to pay attention to when you're stretching. Let's take the hand, reach the shoulder out and back. Let that mid back really relax as you do this motion. And last one. Sometimes it's the most subtle movements that make the biggest difference. Let's hold that foam roller close. Your hips are stacked. Let's bang that top leg out over the foam roller. Nice little pointed toe, and then flex and reach it back. And again, feel free to bend your knee here as an option. Nice, smooth reach forward and lengthen back. 2 more. Then we're going to open up that hip A little bit more intensely. Bend your knee, bring it back behind you. So the top leg is behind the front leg, and just reach that foot away until you feel the stretch in the front part of the hip. You might want to turn your core muscles on a bit more. And on your next breath, let's bring that foot all the way back. Bring it in towards you, pull the knee into your chest. Slide that hand down to the instep and then take the leg behind you. Flex your foot. You can lengthen the bottom leg out or keep it bent if you want a little more support. And then just really lengthen out the front of that leg. Yourself up. Let's take that foam roller underneath. Keep those hips stacked and bend the elbows behind your head. Okay, rotation forward and back. The forward part, you know, go as much towards the foam roller as you can with your elbow. And the backward part, your bottom elbow is going to sort of dictate how far you go. And lift it when you feel ready to lift.
Oh, yeah.
2 more. This always makes me a little sweaty, this one. And rest. Oh, actually, no, don't rest. Let's hold that last stretch. Just give yourself a little bit more support with the elbow on the ground as you open your chest. And now release. Come all the way open with those arms. Bottom hand's gonna stay down. I'm just gonna lift that top arm past my hip and reach it all the way over. And lift through those obliques, ribs coming up towards the hip. 2 more. Still getting into that serratus anterior muscle around the rib cage. And then hold, reach the bottom hand, grab the top, give yourself a little lift, and then reach it out and away. Inhale here, and then exhale, come all the way up. Let's open up those knees, come into your mermaid. Okay, so that muscle you were just working on, we're gonna stretch and reach that arm away, and then pull it back in. Stretch and reach, holding on to that opposite shin just so you don't go too far. 2 more. And on this last one, we're gonna hold it there for a quick breath. And then see if you can come up through not just the hand, but the underside of your arm, and then reach your arm out to the side. Good. So remember, we're coming across the chest this time. Reach it away and come back. And each time you go, see if you can go a little further with your reach without obviously losing it. 2 more. Open it up, really give that chest a stretch. And on this last one, let's hold it there with the hands down low. Send that foam roller away from you. And you can play with this position. I like sometimes just putting my head on the foam roller to really release my upper back and neck muscles. And release into the stretch with your breath. And then use the strength in that upper body to start to roll yourself all the way up. Give yourself a little extension stretch here. Open it up. Take your hand. Bring it all the way back. Let's grab that back leg, wrap it around. I'm going to stretch my bottom leg straight just because my hips are a bit tight today. But if you want to wrap that bottom leg around, that's always an option. Sitting up nice and tall, look over that back shoulder. Inhale here. And exhale, come back to center. Okay, so just out of curiosity, whose glutes are talking to them today from our week? You can just put your thumbs up if your glutes are, yeah? Okay. So let's go to a little bit of glute stretching. We're going to take our feet on top of the foam roller. So find the bottom, or sorry, the underside of your hamstring, and then roll all the way down onto your back. And then pull that foam roller really close to your bum. So we're going to take the legs right together, and then we're going to press the legs away, rotate out with the legs so the heels are together, toes are apart, bring it back, and continue that circle. So the slower you go, the better control you'll have of the foam roller. But if it gets away, just rein it back in. Reach, and then just try to get that hip to relax so you can get a nice stretch through your glutes. 2 more. And last one. And lengthen those legs. Let's take the foam roller a little higher so that your calves are right on the middle, and internally and externally rotate your legs so that your legs go open and close. Put a little pressure on that calf muscle as it goes back and forth over the foam roller. And who knew that those calf muscles could get so tight? And then push your backs of your legs in and just take a little lift through those hips off of your mat, and then place the hips back down, release. And again, exhale, lift just a little bit, reach your feet away from you, and then bring it back. One more time, lift those hips, pressing those. Now, can you rotate in and out while your hips are lifted a few centimeters, a little bit more intense. It's a nice release. And then lower those hips back down and rest for a second. Good, let's continue that foam roller up under the thighs this time. So we're gonna do that same thing. Pick up the hips just a little bit, press your thighs into the foam roller and rotate the legs inward and outward. So we're getting into the hamstrings now, and take a release. Try it again. Make sure it's nice and high, almost as if you're under your butt, but not quite yet. And rotate those legs inward and outward. Or even moving them from side to side if rotation is too intense, and then bringing it back down. Okay, bend the knees, lift the hips. And again, we talked about this last night, but just know if this feels like it's a bit too intense, to put your pillow underneath your hips instead. We're just looking to have the hips elevated here. And then bring those legs up to tabletop. Good. We're going to go right away into our figure 4 stretch. So cross one ankle bone on top of your knee. Once you feel supported, we're going to take the bottom leg and move it up and down. And as the bottom leg is moving up and down, I'm gently pushing on the front knee to get a little more stretch in my butt on that side. 3 and 2 and 1. Hold it up if you can, and think of pulling that leg towards your head to help assist the stretch on this side. Release any tension on your exhale. Fold that knee back to tabletop, and then switch to the other side. So again, taking that leg, reaching it up and down. Gentle push on the top leg, top knee. Reach. And 3, 2, and 1. Hold it there and pull that leg towards you a bit so you've got a little resistance to play with. That'll just help facilitate that stretch a little bit more. Take a breath here. And then exhale, release that bottom leg. and bring both legs right back together. Adjust your foam roller if you need to. Start to reach those legs back behind you. So energy all the way up into the heels. See if you can reach for the calves or the toes. Keep lengthening those legs away from you. Inhale here and exhale, drop one leg down into a scissor position. Now, if your hips are feeling really tight, can you bend your knee? And just kind of that angle will change the stretch a bit. Otherwise, you can keep it straight to intensify that scissor stretch. And center the legs and then switch. Option to hold the hamstring or reach for the toe, whatever feels good here. And switch again. Really think long through both legs, so I'm reaching them away from each other. And one more time, switch. Good, and then bring it back to center. Okay, so we're gonna bend the knees and we're gonna do a little corkscrew movement here. So we bring the hips over to one side of the foam roller, extend the legs, bring them across the body to the other side and bend the knees. And then we extend the legs, bring them across like a little corkscrew movement, bend the knees. And we'll try one more with the bent knee, and you can keep the knee bent if it serves you. Last one here, come back to the start position. Okay, option to keep the legs straight now. So we're just gonna pendulum from one side of the body over to the other, hold onto that foam roller, keep the abdominals engaged, reach, reach. And remember, it's less load if you bend your knees. And still effective. Yep, still effective. And one more time. Bring it back to center. After that. Okay, we're gonna finish off with a rotation and then we'll come off of this foam roller. So if you can separate the legs again like you did earlier, but instead of scissoring the legs, we're gonna rotate them in the air and switch that position. And stretch, inhale. Use your exhale as you rotate the legs. Inhale, exhale, rotate and switch. And let's do one more each side. Lots of control. And one more time. Lots of control as you switch. Bring the legs together, bend the knees. Take a quick little knee to chest stretch through that lower back. And then press the feet back onto your mat. Lift your hips up nice and high. Slide that foam roller out and roll your hips down. Let's just take a second here. Stretch the legs out in your Shavasana or corpse pose. Just see where any more tightness is. And then when you're ready, bring the legs right together. Bend the knees. Bring the chin to your chest. You can grab onto one leg or both legs and roll yourself all the way up the center of the body. Reach towards those toes. Inhale. And exhale, let's stack that spine. Take the foam roller underneath your mid-back. And let's roll at those shoulders. Okay, so we're just gonna keep the feet on the ground today, but use this different hand positions. So the first position is underneath to support your head, and then roll yourself back and forth. Into the rib cage and up past the shoulder blades. And if you find a little spot in there that's really tight, don't hesitate to stay there and roll it out. And one more like that. Resting your hips. Now change the arm position. So we're gonna go a little deeper into the shoulders. I'm gonna wrap my arms across my chest here and do that same roll out. Just make sure you're not jutting your neck or your head up towards the ceiling. You're kind of looking down towards your knees. That'll keep your neck lengthened. And little spots right between those shoulder blades. Take it back down, rest the hips, take the hands in front of you, start to peel yourself up nice and easy. Good. And let's take that foam roller, come to all fours. All right, so we're gonna take the arms on top of the foam roller, or sorry, the hands, and the hips are back. Let's open the knees a little wider than normal. So maybe you can go as wide as your mat. So you've got that nice wide base. And then from that nice wide base, we're gonna send the arms straight out and the hips straight back. So more like a child's pose than a shell stretch. So your back is completely lengthened. And you're going to stretch under the arms, roll it in, use the curl of the back to come up, fingertips staying on the foam roller. Send the hips back, send the arms forward. And bringing it back up. We're gonna add a rotation after this next one. Come back out. And then come all the way into a tabletop position. So my hands are in line with my shoulders now, and we're gonna take one arm out to the side. So let's bring that arm out to the side. Take a breath here, and then tuck it under as you reach your hips back. Slide the foam roller, the only foam roller you have, away from you. Inhale, come back out to the side with that arm, and exhale, reach. And one more time here. Maybe this time you can take the arm up a little bit, and then cross it over underneath you. Sending that arm out, over the foam roller, and then slowly bringing it back to center. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Take that arm, reach it up towards the ceiling, or out to the side and underneath. Inhale, reach. Exhale, under. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale. And then bring it back up nice and easy. Okay, so just a little note of caution on this next one. I'm gonna get you guys to roll out your IT band, right?
Yeah.
So that is a very tight spot. Oh my gosh, there's a really huge hawk in my tree. Really, wow, it's big. Sorry. So the IT band, I want you to not put a lot of weight on it initially. So you can go progressively into this. So let's sit up on the foam roller with one thigh. And then take the other leg and bring it in front. And then I'm gonna send that bottom leg out. And then you can use both of your hands on the ground for support as you take yourself up and down that IT band.
Oh, sure.
Again, dictate how much weight you want to put on that IT band. Take it easy, slow and steady. And if you've done a few and that's enough for you, you can rest. Just think of this as like flushing out that lactic acid from the muscle so it can recover properly. And bend the knee. We're going to stay on this leg first. Bring the leg that was in front over the foam roller. So you're doing a spine twist here. We're going to take one hand on the knee, pull it towards the opposite shoulder, and reach behind and grab that foam roller. And now you're truly a human pretzel. Look over that back shoulder. And I'm going to ask you to do one more thing here. Push.
Oh, I know.
Push your bum down a bit. So you're getting that really nice stretch in your glute. Nice being the operative word, I guess. And then slowly come out of it. Let's switch it over to the other side. And again, start with that leg. Bring the top leg over. use your hands and your leg to help you roll up and down that foam roller.
Oh, that is interesting. Oh.
The freedom you'll have after. And last one, take a breath, release, come back to that leg on top, cross the other one over, hug that knee into the chest, and look over that back shoulder. And then drop that hip, outside hip down a little bit if you can. Okay. Slowly undo your ravel. Good, we're gonna come off the foam roller. But this time I wanna use it underneath, don't throw it away yet, underneath the instep. So one leg, instep is on top of the foam roller, other leg is in a lunge position. Okay, so first start by squaring the hip. And then when you're ready, let's take those arms up towards the ceiling. Come into your crescent lunge by bending your elbows, opening your chest. Inhale here. We're gonna exhale and then dive forward with those hands on either side of your foot. Lift that back leg and then roll the knee in as you press the leg out. We're going back and forth. Finding some extra length through that hip flexor. 2. And 1 more. Hold it there. Maybe you can put your toe down. Slide that shin onto the foam roller. And then bend your knee. Place the foot down. Take your weight back so you're lengthening out the front leg into that nice hamstring stretch. Stretching is definitely not easy, but always helpful and necessary. Let's switch sides.
Beneficial.
Beneficial, yes, thank you. I just got some commentary from the man. Reach those arms up towards the ceiling. Bring the elbows back down. Come into your crescent lunge. And if you tilt that hip forward just a bit, you're gonna feel that a little more intensely in that front thigh. Bring yourself all the way forward. Lengthen that back leg up and then bend the knee in and press it out. A couple of times here. And one more time. Good. Take it all the way back. Press your knee down. Slide your hips back towards the foam roller. Stretch that front leg. Breathing into that space that you created. And then slow and steady, let's reach both feet back behind you. Good, so this is a nice way to do plank. We're just gonna roll, we're gonna roll out, yeah, as I said, a recovery class. Those knees, lift them up, stretch the legs nice and long, bend the knees, pull it back, and rest. Let's do it a couple times. Reach, connecting the line from the crown of your head to the heels, and reach, and back. And last one, reach those legs, hold it here for 1 full breath cycle. Pulling it in, and take a nice child's pose, reaching those hands on the ground, keeping the feet elevated, and rest. We're gonna finish our class today in a standing pose. So come all the way up, take your feet off the foam roller. Let's place it in front of you. Use that foam roller to come to a lunge and then stand yourself up nice and easy. Good. Okay, so let's turn sideways. So I have one hand on the foam roller and a nice wide angled position here. I'm gonna take that outside hand and we're gonna go into a nice little side bend. So reach the arm up, tilt the foam roller away from you, Lengthen out all that side muscle from the heel up to the hip, across the ribs. Now take the arm that's up there and turn it down, and turn your foot so it's also in line with the foam roller and reach it away. We're gonna go a little deeper into the inner thigh, so let's bend that front knee. So you're coming into a nice lunge position, back heels on the mat. Keep that front knee bent and open the chest into your warrior number 2. Use that foam roller, push it away. Inhale here. Exhale, we're gonna bring it down and then push back into that warrior. Bring the arm down and push back. And we're gonna do a funky transition. Reach, hold that position in the back arm, bring it around to the foam roller, grab the foam roller, keep reaching those arms in front of you, and then we're gonna rotate to the front and rotate back to the knee. Rotate back to the front and to the knee. Last time. Rotate to the front, switch the angle of your feet so you're facing forward, and bring the foam roller all the way to the other side. That's your funky transition. Good, let's start with that up and over side bend. Reach. Feel that length. And then bring it back. Let's do that again, reach. Now let's take that hand and rotate into the foam roller. I'm gonna bend my knee. Inhale here, keep that knee bent. Now open your arm into your warrior number 2. Press it down, let the hand come onto your thigh, reach, press, and reach. 2 more, press. Last one, hold it there. Good, and then I'm gonna reach across, grab the foam roller, place it from the front, and keep the knee bent as you rotate. So we're reaching it forward, rotate to center, one last time, rotate. Now straighten both legs, come all the way to center, and peel yourself down. Wide angle, leg stretch, reach the foam roller away from you, keep the weight in your heels. Similar feeling to a downward facing dog. Inhale, and then bend the knees, pull that foam roller in, heel toe your feet back to your start position, and roll the spine all the way up. Let's take a nice overhead reach. Reach it behind you, see if you can stretch through that chest, and release it down. One more stretch through the chest. I'm going to take the foam roller behind my back, place my hands, and allow the shoulders to roll back. Open that chest up towards the ceiling, and then release. Try it one more time. Open the chest, reach. Take that foam roller back in front of you. Release it to the mat. Send your back into a nice long line. I'm gonna peel all the way down to my toes. No foam roller for that. Release head, neck, and shoulders. Bend the knees. Curl yourself up. Lengthen that spine. Fill the lungs with air. One more time. And exhale all of that out. And hopefully we got rid of some of those tight spots in the body. Nice job. Good.